And today we're going to be looking at two-factor multiplication using multiple ways. So we're going to start with our problem as 23 multiplied by 15. Now remember, multiplication is taking two factors. So in this case, 23 and 15 are our factors. And you use those factors to multiply them together to get a product, which is our final answer in multiplication. So we're going to move this out of the way, but I'm going to keep the factors up here just so that way we remember what our factors are, because we're going to do this problem twice. The first way we're going to be using is an area model and standard form. Now, a lot of people are familiar with standard form, but we're going to start with area model today because we've been already doing some work with it. So to set up our area model, we are going to draw a square, and that square is then going to have 4 boxes inside of it. So we're going to draw those 2 lines here. And we're going to write our 2 factors on these 2 sides. Now you can alternate which sides be multiplying these, but that's not correct because this 2 and this 1 are not actually a 2 and a 1. We are decomposing our 2 factors a little bit further. So it's actually going to become 20 and 3 to make 23. And we're doing this by place value just to make this a little bit easier. So we have 20 and 3 and 10 and 5. And those will equal our original factors. And what we're doing is we're going to cross. So we're going to go from 10 to 3 to get 30. And we just did 20 and 10 to get 200. So now we're doing 20 to 5, multiply them together, and that gives us 100. And the same thing here for 3 and 5 to give us 15. Now we're all done? Nope. We now have, because we decomposed our numbers, we got our partial products. Remember, in multiplication, we need a final product. Partial products can then be added to become our final product. So we're going to write all of our partial products down at the bottom here. So 200 plus 30 plus 100 and plus 15. And that means our final answer is 345. Sorry, the camera kind of cut that out. So now we're going to use standard form. Now, in standard form, you're going to be stacking our 2 factors on top of each other. Now, while we do standard form, we're going to be pulling the same key vocabulary that we were using doing the area model and showing how they relate here. So we have 5 times 3, and now that equals 15. And the reason I'm writing a red 0 is so that we remember that we're not actually multiplying 5 and 2. It's technically 5 and 20. And I'm sorry. I wrote the numbers backwards. So now we have 115. But now we're still not done because that's only a partial product. But here you can see that we have the same partial products as when we did the area model. So here's one point where we can see the relation. And I'm putting a check here so I know that I've already used these numbers. And I don't want to erase them. So that's why I'm putting a check. So here we have 1 times 3, but actually it's 10 times 3. And the reason that we're leaving a space next to the 3 is because we've decomposed our numbers. And the reason that we are leaving a space after 3 is because that is 10 times 3, which is 30. So now we have 1 times 2, but it's actually 10 times 20, which is 200. And here I'm going to fill in that 0. And now we have the same partial products as the area model yet again. So I'm going to write that off to the side here. And again, these are our partial products, so we have to add these back together. We broke down our numbers, so now we have to add them together. So here we have 5, 3 plus 1 is 4, and 2 plus 1 is 3. And we have the same final product. for both ways of multiplication. We have 345 from the area model and 345 from the standard form. All right, and I'm going to clean off my board, and then I'm going to set you guys off with a new problem. All right, now, so we're going to get back into doing multiplication, and I'm putting our vocabulary back up on the board. And our new problem that you are going to solve by yourself is 35 multiplied by 12. Remember, those are factors, and your goal is to find the final product. And you are going to be using area model, and you are going to be checking your work using standard form. So remember, set up your area model the same way we did before. And I want you to also, as you write your factors on the two sides, you're going to also, I want you to remember that these are not 3 and 1, it is 30 and 10. Because we are decomposing by place value. Area models, we decompose using place value. And in standard form, you're going to be just stacking them the same way we did before. And remember, you are finding the partial products because we are decomposing, and you are then going to have to add your partial products back together to get your final product. But please pay attention because the place value has changed, and that will change your answer from the original problem. All right, you guys can have a few minutes to figure out and find your final product, and we will meet back here in a few minutes. All right, good luck. Bye.